What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're driving a 1996 Saturn SC2. Some specs: this has a 1.9 liter inline 4-cylinder engine producing 124 horsepower, paired with a 5-speed manual transmission. And while 124 horsepower doesn't sound like a lot, and is not a lot, this car only weighs about 2,500 pounds, which is pretty light. Very similar to an NA Miata. We have the owner with us, Phil. We met him on the Fall Colors drive we went on a couple weeks ago. This is his car. Phil, tell us a little bit about this car. How'd you get it, mods, etc.?
I was looking for a new daily. This popped up on Marketplace and it looked pretty cool to me, so I went with it. And then it happened to be a friend of someone I know. It worked out pretty well. And it's pretty much stock other than lowered on Subaru coilovers, and then it's got Corvette wheels on it.
Oh yeah, the Corvette wheels look really cool. And then you did headlight mod and a couple other small things. Yeah. So really excited to see how a 90s Saturn drives today. This is from the golden era of Saturn, as a lot of people like to say. So let's go ahead and take this out on the road and see what it's all about. Oh yeah, we have some exhaust mods too, correct?
Just got a cat delete, muffler delete, and then an eBay glass pack.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, we have some nice big blast pipes out the back. This car kind of really sells the JDM look. Okay, it's actually not that loud at lower RPMs. Yeah. Down at closer to 2,000, which is very interesting because usually I find that cars get dronier at lower RPMs, but not this one.
I think it has to do with that glass pack, because if I don't have it on, it sounds pretty raspy and whatnot.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. All right, so some initial impressions. You can feel a lot in the cabin here. We're on coilovers, and the car's, I would call it stanced. So it's it's a little stiff. That's all right. The shifter, it's a little worn out, but honestly, it's got a nice click into gear. Clutch pedal feels good. Throttle pedal feels good. Is this cable throttle? Yes. Yep, cable throttle feels nice. Brake pedal. It's got a nice, good initial bite. That exhaust is rowdy. Oh my goodness.
Sometimes you can get it to backfire if you're just like going heavy throttle on the gear, but then don't shift and just let go of the gas.
Oh yeah, you get it to backfire? There, we'll see if we'll try that here. Feels pretty nimble. It definitely feels, I would say it feels its weight, more so it feels its lack of weight.
The tires are not balanced. It feels a little shaky.
Okay, I was going to ask about that. Okay, that makes sense.
I just mounted them myself. I didn't feel like balancing them. And they are mismatched as well.
What do you mean mismatched?
The front two tires are the same as the rear two different brands.
Oh,
so
okay.
there's 3 different tire brands total.
Okay, so we have 3 different tire brands. We have a proper nugget. The one thing that gives this away as a GM product is the steering wheel. This 2-spoke, honestly, I call it like a minivan steering wheel. That's pretty much what this is. And actually, I think the Catfish Camaro is the same steering wheel on here, or something very similar. We drove earlier this year. Interestingly, 5th gear is pretty long, but 1 through 4 are much shorter. Yeah. Which is good for your highway fuel economy.
The other transmission is geared a little taller, but for the single overhead cam. So some people like using that on a big turbo just because they can ride out the gears for longer.
Interesting. Okay. shift indicator down there too.
Yes, there is. It's for gas mileage, but nobody ever pays attention to it.
Oh yeah, this had to have been one of the first cars that had that in there. I've never heard of a 90s car having a shift indicator for fuel economy. Saturn's kind of claim to fame was that it was GM's attempt to try to take on the Japanese car brands. So they kind of let Saturn, at least back when this car was being made, do whatever they wanted. They like just beat out Honda, Toyota, Mitsubishi, you know, Nissan, whoever. And it was cars like this that kind of gave Saturn a reputation for being, you know, good cars. I mean, look at this one, you know, 30 years later. It's still here. Although most of these have been, you know, they rusted out or, you know, they had 300,000 miles on them, they got scrapped. So even just seeing one on the road is pretty rare, especially one like this with the manual gearbox. But you get on it, it's relatively quick. I mean, it feels quick in the same way Miata feels quick. It's not a particularly fast car, but you kind of just get some momentum going, and then it just kind of keeps going. The exhaust note is kind of nice too. It's very deep. Another cool thing about these cars too is they all had plastic body panels. Not all of them. There are a few select panels. You think you were telling me the roof and the deck lid are metal, correct? And the hood. But a lot of them, like the fenders, the bumpers, are all plastic. Doors. Yeah, right, exactly. The whole side of the car. Which I think they also did because it was, I think the idea was that they were cheaper to replace if you got in an accident.
Supposed to be dentless. Yeah.
Oh, right. Engine feels very similar to a Miata too in the way that it revs. It's just very rev happy. It just wants to climb all the way to the top. There's the shift light yelling at me again. Feels very nimble and very connected, honestly. What you expect from a 90s car like this? I mean, this is sort of like a Honda Civic competitor. So it's small, little, nimble, tossable. These are all the things that we kind of would have expected out of something like this. Oh, that was some backfires. Oh man, that sounded glorious. Honda Civic owners at 3 a.m., except it's not a Honda Civic. Yeah. They won't expect it to you. Nobody knows what these are anymore. The cable throttle's interestingly touchy at lower RPMs.
Feels like kind of sticky. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, sticky is the right word for it. Too. Honestly, I feel like the clutch and the throttle pedal took me all of 30 seconds to figure out. So we've driven a lot of Hondas on the channel. And I think that's kind of the closest comparison I really have to this. It's a 90s Honda. And honestly, it kind of has a similar vibe to it, and how the chassis feels, of course, sort of the tossability, how light it is. And honestly, even like the gas pedal, the clutch, the brake, everything. The shifter's not as good, but honestly, you can't really compare any shifter to a Honda shifter because they're just, the Honda one is better every time. There's always gonna be better. But it does kind of feel like a middle ground between an American car and a Japanese car. I think one of the biggest indicators of that is the engine size, it being closer to 2 liters. You do feel down low, you get quite a bit more torque than a lot of the Civics from its day. And even if the torque number itself on the Civics is similar to this, at least in feel from the driver's seat, this feels like it has more torque. And that long 5th gear is a very American car thing. We're cruising on the highway, yeah. All the Japanese cars from this era, they just have you spinning up at like, you know, 3,500, 4,000 RPM at 70.
Yeah, my uncle was telling me about that. His Miata.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's so awesome about cars like this. I just gotta ring out 1st, 2nd, 3rd gear going highway speeds. You don't have to break the law to have fun in something like this. Drive it, honestly, it just drives well. I can definitely see back in the day why somebody would have considered something like this over, you know, a Honda Civic or a Volkswagen Golf of the day. It has a similar sort of vibe to it, but it just has, you know, a different flavor of kind of the same formula. We've finished our test drive of the 1996 Saturn SC2, and I now have a pretty good flavor as to what 90 Saturn is all about. It feels very adjacent to a Honda Civic Si or a Golf GTI or something kind of similar in that space. Small, kind of nimble, sporty coupe. And that's what Saturn was. They were supposed to take on the Japanese brands Toyota, Honda, Nissan. And I would say it does a pretty good job. You can definitely tell the motor's really rev happy. It wants to go. The car feels nimble. It's just a fun car to drive. And it's a shame that these are kind of all gone now, but it's nice that you've managed to find this one.
Yeah.
If you find a Saturn in your area and you want to have the Saturn experience, I'd pick one up. Honestly, it's a pretty fun car. So with all that said, let's go ahead and give the 1996 Saturn SC2 a score. The Saturn SC2 scores here on our list. It scores on the lower end. While it is a fun little car, it's kind of niche, which means that parts will be hard to find and there isn't a lot of support. Now sometimes you deal with that for cars that are special, but for the performance and presence this car has, it might not be worth the headache for a lot of people that aren't willing to get their hands dirty. Should you buy it? The Saturn brand was important for General Motors back in the day. It was the best attempt any American car brand ever had at competing with the foreign brands in the 1990s. Now, years later, with everything discontinued, the Saturn brand is lost to time, and the cars left behind are going to be harder and harder to keep on the road as the years wear on. But the few that are left are a reminder of what happens when engineers are allowed to explore and innovate on good ideas. If you want the 1990s Honda driving experience, but you don't want to pony up for a nice one, see if any of these are for sale near you. It's not that far off in the driver's seat from its foreign rivals, fulfilling the promise of what a Saturn was supposed to achieve.